Have you ever wanted an improvement to the mental photography deck? This is imagined by Peter and Harry Nardi, a multi-phased, strong card magic routine that has a killer, unexpected blank deck ending. And today I'm telling you everything you need to know about this product. I actually collect cards from a lot of different casinos. These are from 52 different casinos from all over the world. Like here's the City of Chicago one. I've got a bunch from Vegas. Let's see what else. There's these. This is a high roller casino. My dad went to that one. They're all from different casinos. And it's really cool because we're going to try something. I want you to imagine we're on the Las Vegas Strip. We're walking down. You smell the nice, musty air. And I come up to you and I say, tell me to stop whenever you'd like. So I'd have you just say stop. Say stop anywhere. Stop. Remember that card, okay? Got it? Perfect. Don't tell me what it is, but I'm going to try to get a signal. Try send me. It's a black card, a club. It's a two number, the 10 of clubs. Yeah, let's try that again. Just say stop anywhere. Remember the card. Oh, this is another black card, but not a club this time. It was a spade, an even higher card than a 10. It was the King of Spades, wasn't it? But keep in mind, you could have said stop wherever you wanted. In fact, you could have said stop maybe here on the 10 of spades. That would have been a good choice, but you didn't. You didn't choose the 10 of spades. In fact, hold your hand out. We're going to place the 10 in your hand. Remember, this is all in our imagination. You were never in Vegas. You never were stopped by me. I never asked you to say stop on a card because that is completely blank. In fact, if you thought you saw any cards at all in this deck, you'd be wrong because these are all 52 completely blank playing cards. Front and back, through and through. That is Imagine. I hope you enjoyed that quick performance of Imagine. Imagine is available at Alakazam Magic, and if you live in the US, you can get this from the US warehouse that Alakazam now has. It's run by Chris James. He goes there 7 days a week. Really hardworking, highly recommended. Fast shipping, and it's a lot cheaper now. Now, what do you get when you buy Imagine? When you buy Imagine from Alakazam, you get this nice box, and inside you get your special, very special deck of cards. It comes in a blank box, a blank tuck case, and of course, the Imagine special deck is inside, which is based off of the mental photography deck, which has stood the test of time. But it has a lot of changes to it, and it has a lot of extra stuff built into it as well. And of course, you also get the tutorial, the instructions. Now, what is the quality of the gimmick? The gimmicked deck of cards that you receive with Imagine is very well made. They are made from cards from different casinos and all different back designs. And the back designs and faces have very great colors and designs. The colors all pop and the designs are nice and the cards look very nice. The deck works really well too. The cards are not printed by USPCC, but they're still very well made and they have a nice stock. It's a bit of a thicker stock. The gimmick does have something that will wear out as time goes on, but you likely, if you've been doing Magic and any DIY, you likely already have the materials to repair the deck easily after extended use. Now, how is the tutorial? The tutorial is about 45 minutes long. It's taught by Harry and Peter Nardi, the creators of this great effect. They go through the subtleties, the history, how this progressed, and how to do the routine. The tutorial covers everything you need to know about this project, and they teach you multiple routines. It was very thorough. They cover lots of details like where to perform this, when to perform this, some things you can do to make this stronger, and more. Is this a social media or a real life effect? This could work great for both social media or a real life performance because it's super visual and it's interactive. Now, what are the angles like? Another great thing with Imagine is it can be performed completely surrounded. This is because part of the method happens right in front of the spectator's eyes, but they just don't know what to look for, so they never see it. They never notice, because if the spectators don't know what to look for, they will never see it. Now, one issue I kind of had with this deck is a couple of the designs on the cards were a little bit inappropriate. So I had to remove them from the deck because I perform in areas that have a lot of kids and stuff. So if someone were to say stop at that card that had that inappropriate graphic, it's not extremely inappropriate, but I just removed it just to be safe so I don't offend anyone when I'm performing it. But yeah, just something I wanted to note. Also, there are no live performances in the tutorial, but I believe there is a studio performance in the tutorial. Is this examinable? Unfortunately, no. The deck is not examinable at the end of the routine, and that is one of the downsides here, because they may want to examine it. I mean, you're going from a deck that is fully printed right to a blank deck. However, no, they can't really check it out unless you do a deck switch for another double blank deck. However, there are lots of very convincing subtleties that you add here that'll make the deck look very normal. Now, let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of this effect. This is not extremely difficult at all. In fact, it's well within the grasp of most beginners. The sleights required to perform the main Imagine routine are just being able to dribble through the cards and being able to do a double lift and identify. You have to do a little practicing identifying the cards based on the system with this deck. And as long as you can do those things, you will be able to perform Imagine very quickly after you learn it. This is also very practical for walk-around magic and other forms of close-up magic. I even performed this in a parlor show. I performed this in all my nursing home shows and other stuff like that. So this is practical for a lot of different environments. It's super visual too. Is there any DIY required? No, there's no DIY required. The cards come ready to go right out of the box. Pocket space. How much pocket space is required? All you have to carry around for Imagine is the one gimmicked deck of cards. That's all. I understand that pocket space comes at a premium these days, but this is so worth carrying around to perform. Totally worth the pocket space. Especially if you already do mental photography, this takes that up to a whole nother level. In fact, Penguin also released their version of the mental photography deck. I'll be reviewing that sometime soon, but I personally prefer this over that one. This is really good because it layers in methods. There are multiple different methods. There are multiple different kind of tricks and stuff you're doing here. So when the deck turns blank, that is totally unexpected. Now, what's the reset like? This depends on the routine you want to perform with Imagine. The one where you start with the deck blank and end with the deck blank resets instantly. That's similar to the original mental photography routine. However, the one I performed for you earlier takes a 2-second reset. I do the reset in front of my audience by putting the gimmicked deck inside the box, taking the top card, which is blank, from the audience's perspective, and I put it back in where it needs to go. And I do that right in front of the audience and they never notice. Now, what is the price of this? Imagine by Peter Nardi and Harry Nardi currently retails for $40 US, and it's available at Alakazam Magic. The original mental photography deck was $15, so this is definitely more of a deluxe or a more expensive version. However, because of all the details that went into this, the design and all the systems at play here, and the new additions Peter and Harry have added, I think that this is definitely worth the cost. Now, what are the pros and cons with this? The pros are this is easy to do, very visual, it's a very strong routine. There are multiple methods in play. This can be instantly repeated if you do the reset in front of the audience. This is much improved. It's improving on the mental photography deck a ton. The angles are also very good. You can be completely surrounded, have people behind you, beside you, and everywhere, and they won't catch on to a single thing because they don't know what to look for. Also, what I like about this is that you're doing multiple times. The kicker comes very unexpected because you're doing other effects with the deck that are still very, very powerful. Like the divination of the card, you repeat it over and over. You can do it multiple times in a row, and that is a very, very strong thing. And then it builds, because then you put the card in their hand and then it turns blank in their hand. Then the effect keeps building up until it reaches the climax of turning fully blank. So yeah, there are lots of great details that Harry and Peter have added. There's also no table required. Again, the perfect angles, and the price is good. This is very well made, and if you own other decks like this, if you have the materials to repair those decks, you can repair this one as well. And it really doesn't take too much time to repair. It's really easy and it's covered in the tutorial. This also gets good reactions. It has a good tutorial. Now for the cons are this cannot be examined. It cannot be handed out, which is a little bit, it's not too big of a deal because you are very freely showing the deck. There's nothing that would really, there are no red herrings that would make the spectator want to examine it, but I know there are lots of handsy spectators that would want to examine this at the end, and unfortunately, you just can't hand it out. Also, there is a quick reset to this. You can do it in front of the audience, but be aware there is a reset. And also, there is a component of this that could wear out with time. Again, it's repairable, but it will wear out with time. Now, what percent do I give this? I like Imagine a lot. I do it all the time in close-up shows, but mainly in my parlor shows, like in nursing homes, retirement homes, stuff like that, and house parties. So I'm giving it a 97%. I hope you all enjoyed this review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.